Run.
Like that. We're gonna start. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny J. Quick,
Morgan Iverson.
Renee Lee.
and we are Fourth Wall
Productions.
Productions. This is Off the Fourth Wall. I don't know if this is our 7th or 10th episode. We're somewhere in there.
It's been a while. We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. We had Heroes Con, and then we had Comic Con night with the Durham Bulls last week. So, we posted videos from that stuff, but now we're back on the podcast. So, we got a the Annihilation Day is written. All right, we wrote the story, and it's finished, and it's awesome. But here it is, a month and a half, 2 months later, and we're still having conversations about who was right and how it ended. And we're not going to spoil it for you, and I'm going to tell you what happened, but we'll just say that one character wanted to kill everybody. The other character was agreeing with him to kill everybody, but the other character had to stop everybody from killing everybody. So
First off, how you just said that
I was gonna say
is
it's a spin on it.
that's not a spin.
You're
That's how
wrong.
it happened.
No, man. All right. Okay.
Lumberjacks wanted to kill. We're trying not to spoil it.
No, you already spoiled it.
Don't get loud with me, bro.
Let's first let's cut that.
No.
Second, let's just say there was a disagreement over justice and how to implement it.
Right.
That's
Lumberjacks wants to kill people because, okay, I understand he's justified because the troll is super powerful. The enemies that they're facing are super powerful, so
pretty much
might have to kill him.
So pretty
I'm
much
not
we're
saying
telling
that.
you-
Don't tell him.
It's all
Don't
you
tell him
already
that.
told
No, I
me.
didn't. No, I didn't, because that's not the end.
Marquise,
That's not the end of the story.
is that not-
Because he doesn't. That's not even the end of the story. Because he still come. Look. Anyways, so we have a fundamental difference of what justice is between our characters, between Black Scorpion and his creator, between Lumberjacks and his creator, and between Ace Blade and King Supreme and me, who created those characters. So, King Supreme, he's a young kid. He values life over everything. He doesn't want to kill anybody, but he has the strength to subdue pretty much anybody who he would go against. So, he doesn't feel like you have to kill people because that's crossing the line to where a hero should be. If you're a good guy, you don't want to kill somebody because that's the end. You want to save people's lives so that they can get better, so that they can somehow in the future attribute to society, so they can do something to recompense for their mistakes. Is that a word? Does make that up?
No.
Okay, that's right. But Lumberjacks and Black Scorpion is not as brutal. He even has his signature move is the Scorpion Sting, which is a paralyzing move. So he's more about subduing people. But Lumberjacks and his 7-foot axe, he wants to cut people in half
not a 7-foot
and just
axe.
leave them there in the dirt and hey, if you make it, you make it. If you die, you die. That's straight from Rocky IV.
if he dies, he dies.
It's like how that's the definition of a bad guy. You saying if he dies, he dies. That's basically what Lumberjack says in his
That's
book.
not true.
Am I wrong?
That's not true. That's not what he said.
I don't think that defines him as a bad guy. I mean,
I'm not saying Lumberjack is a bad guy
Well,
because
you
he's not.
just
you
said
said that
I'm saying
defines him as a bad
that
guy.
trait is a bad guy trait. Is
It's
what I'm
not
saying.
a bad guy trait.
I don't know if it's a bad guy.
It's not a bad guy trait. It's a Lumberjacks is focused. All right, how he does stuff in New Orleans. If your warning to keep your life came before you made that decision. So what that means is, in ancient Israel, right? In ancient Israel, if you committed adultery, what was the penalty for that?
Castration? I don't know.
No.
What was it?
Death.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Death. Okay. Death was a penalty for committing adultery.
Okay.
If you
Does
murdered
Jax live in
somebody,
ancient Israel?
wait a minute.
Wait
Wait a minute. If you murdered somebody, the penalty was murder. Not murder, but you were going to be killed for it.
So everything is death.
I'm
You just die.
Not everything.
You die from adultery and for murder.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Hey, I'm just telling you what the law was.
Okay,
So
that's what the law
now
was.
the way you
in
think
ancient
about
Israel.
Yeah, but look, if you think about it, if you know ahead of time, if I kill somebody, I'm going to be killed in return. How likely are you to go kill somebody after that? After you know for a fact you're going to die.
But how are you?
No,
if
just
you're
answer that
killing
first.
people,
Just
how
answer
are
that
you-
first.
But then when does the killing stop? Then
You won't go kill somebody because you know you.
Do
What's
people
the
still die?
number
Do
one
people still
fear
get
of
killed?
men? What is the number one
did
fear
people
of
still
humans?
get killed in ancient Israel?
Not to the degree that they
People
do in
didn't get
America.
killed.
Not even close.
People didn't get killed in ancient Israel.
You mean for breaking the law?
There was never a person who murdered another person. That's
No,
what you're telling me.
I'm saying that the
The
murder
law-
rate was
the
a lot
law does
lower
not-
than it
the
would have
law
been
is
in
not gonna
America.
keep anybody from breaking the law.
That's not.
We know that.
It depends on it depends on how that law is enforced.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Because
People
in Rome, when they had uprisings and they went and they took the entire road to Rome and had crucifixes on both sides. Do you think there were more uprisings after that or less?
What do you mean? I don't.
This is what I'm saying.
But Rome did have a good amount of uprisings, though.
Yeah, but they staunched the majority of them, and when they took the actions to get ready to quell them, they did it in extreme measures to make sure, hey, you guys do it, you're gonna pay the penalty for it. If that's what you want to do, you're gonna pay the penalty for it. In America, because we have such a open society, we have such a, to be honest, since we going there today, America's justice system is a joke.
We weren't.
Anybody that looks at America's justice system knows that it's a joke. It's always been a joke. There's never been a point where it was not a joke.
So that's what Jax thinks. He's like, oh, this
Absolutely.
is a joke. So I'm just gonna do my own. I mean,
No,
I
it's not him
I
doing
understand
it.
being a vigilante because Ace Blaze is a vigilante and King Supreme is a vigilante to some extent. But you can't just go murdering. Like you can't say
When did
that
Jax
the justice
turn
system
out-
is such a because how many people? All right, in the Lumberjacks short story, Volume 1. How many people did Lumberjacks kill?
More than fingers.
Had to
More
be.
than counting your
I'm
fingers.
thinking it was like 20. I
that
don't
was
want to say
not
30.
20.
It was.
I think
I'm
it
thinking it was
might
around 20,
No
25,
way.
26 people that died.
Where was Prince in that? When he went and got...
He murdered. He
It was
killed
in
at
the
least
club.
10 people
He
there.
killed a lot of
and
people
then
in
in
the
the
club.
prison, he killed people.
He killed
people
one
on the way
person
to the
in the-
bathroom one time. He killed one dude. He killed one dude just because he was looking at him. I remember you wrote it. I don't know if you kept it in the book, but you said that the one dude looked at him wrong and he just snapped his neck. And I was like, this
No, he made that up.
Bruh.
He made that up. That didn't
Bruh.
I
happen.
made it up because that sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar.
All right.
You see what I mean? He believes me, and I
Listen.
definitely make that up.
Listen, all right.
He believes me because that's what Lumberjacks would do.
No.
I was gonna say, that sounds
He said
familiar.
that sounds like something Lumberjacks would do.
Jack's system of how he thinks about justice is when there are harsh penalties, people are less likely to commit those crimes. If they're less, I didn't say they're not going to commit them, but they're less likely. One reason for that is because human beings, regardless, everywhere across the world, are generally afraid of death. That's why if you pull a gun on somebody, where you wouldn't have had control over that person before that moment, once you pull the gun, because you have the ability to take my life, I would do whatever you tell me to do. Whereas before that moment, I would have never done any of that. But if you pull a gun and you're threatening to take my life, then I'll do whatever it is that you're telling me to do.
Those are bad guys, though, right?
Who?
The people who would threaten to take another person's life, that's a bad guy, right?
Yes, and Jax also looks at them as bad guys. What bothers Jax more than anything, based on his history and how he came up in New Orleans especially, you have to understand, Jax went from being royalty to literally a slave.
I understand.
So he went from royalty back home in his own country to being a slave here, and then after being a slave here and being denied the right to read and write, learn anything, you working on different, literally might as well be plantations for these people for all of this time. Then you go to high school, you're allowed life or whatever. He has somewhere to funnel all the anger that he had into football, and he became a productive citizen of the country. For him, seeing innocent people be taken advantage of, which he was, is something that he's not willing to tolerate if he can do anything about it.
I understand
In the way that he views justice, if you are a person that you're going to put people's lives in danger, especially innocent people's lives in danger, just for your own gain, your chance at avoiding death that you don't care about putting on others is making sure that you don't cross my path. I'm not going to kill you automatically, but if you die in the process and you're that type of person, oh well.
He kind of kills automatically though.
I'm saying, them people in the club, he killed automatically.
In the situation
you
in the
don't
club,
drop somebody on their face into the ground, and that's instant death. You ain't giving that dude a chance.
in the situation in the club, the people that were trying to stop him from getting to Princeton.
Look, I understand.
Okay, so they were trying to stop him from getting to the person
Them
that
people was just doing their job, bro. Them people was just doing their job. They bodyguards.
He was not, but when he was
And the
beating
police
them
officers.
up, he was not intending to kill them. When he was fighting back from what they
Of
were trying
course
to
he
do.
didn't intend to, that's what I'm saying.
So if somebody's trying to restrain me, if somebody's trying to
around-
restrain me in the midst of me doing something,
You running around with this though. You running around.
he's running around with that now. But in Volume 1, he never had
And that's
that.
what I'm saying. He killing people when he don't got that. So you telling me that this dude who got this 7 foot, 6.5 foot axe ain't gonna kill some people on the street? That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me just say that I don't have a problem with Jax killing people. I think that in the span of administering justice, it's good to have a spectrum so that there can be a balance.
Uh-huh.
But I do think that Jax is excessive. I don't think that's a bad thing, but you know, like he kills, and he kills mercilessly. He kills violently, and he kills almost. You can almost say immediately. You know, it's not quite immediately, but you know, because like you said, he gives him the chance.
It's like, you need to die.
If he gives them the chance and they don't take it, what happens? Is there a second chance?
Not usually.
Not usually.
Not usually.
So yeah, and I don't think there's a problem with that. But he's a murderer. Now you can decide. You can argue the rights and wrongs of murder, and you can argue is there good murder versus bad murder, whatever however you want to look at that.
It depends on if you watch Dexter.
Yeah, I do watch Dexter.
Okay.
I watch Dexter.
Man, y'all crucial.
But
no, what?
But I think that he murders. Like that's.
Well, I mean, murder is.
But there was something wrong with your boy Dexter, though, right? We can all agree that there was something wrong with that.
Yeah,
dude.
no question.
Okay.
But he at least was trying to go by
his code.
He was trying to go by a code and not ever kill. When he killed somebody that was innocent, he was torn up about it.
He was 100, and he was sure, like he was 98.
He always investigated
except
them
for
to
that
make
one
sure.
or two times.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was
100% sure.
but see, there was remorse too
But
when he messed up.
Lumberjacks don't have that though. He
don't have remorse?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have remorse.
Oh.
He doesn't have the I mean, maybe he caught you in the act of stealing, but he hadn't done the proper
First
research
off, what you're
to
saying,
know that this person deserves to die.
But that, he was not. That's what I'm saying.
That's the other thing about lumberjacks. We'll have to pick out examples where lumberjacks knew he was killing somebody, or lumberjacks was defending himself or taking someone down.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's so vicious and so
he's
masculine.
Strong. He's a big.
That person died from it.
Exactly. That's the point I was making about the club, though. The point I'm making about the club is he went into the club with one goal: where's Princeton Shelby? Mm-hmm. For Ivy, can we agree that he had good reason?
He had good reason to go after Princeton. He
okay.
had all the reasons
So
to
he
go
went
after
in there. He went in there looking for Princeton. The guards tried to prevent him from getting to Princeton. Mm-hmm. He was fighting against the guards because they tried to prevent him from getting to Princeton. Right? Okay. Now I make it to Princeton. Me and Princeton are guffing. This is I'm not trying to fight all the rest of y'all. This dude right here deserves death. Did he not deserve death?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get with
all
you
right.
on that.
Okay. So Jax
killed him, but
Jax went there. We've already established that Princeton absolutely did something worth death. Jax went in there. He was beating the brakes off this dude, and people tried to stop him in the process. He did not turn around and try to kill them by stopping in the process.
But he did kill them.
But that
was his goal.
Exactly. Murder is not his intent. He's never going into the street looking to murder somebody.
That's still not good. I mean, like.
It's no different than America in the war on terror, throwing rockets at people and they're killing innocent people. Is that right? No. Is that their intention though?
It's
no.
Not right.
When you're trying to prove a murder case, what matters? Motive, right? Motive is the first thing that you need in order to prove that case.
And if you did it,
yeah, but
you still go to jail because you killed somebody. But even if you did it on accident,
not in self-defense. If I prove self-defense, then I don't go to jail for that.
Not if you 300 pounds and you ate 90% muscle and you body slam a dude head down into the
So you
ground.
saying he needs to wear heels or something? I don't
He needs-
understand.
he needs to be more careful. He can't.
What you mean be more careful?
What I'm saying is that's why, like Black Scorpion now and Ace Blade, they are precise. These dudes are precise.
Jax is a football player.
I understand that. But in being a football player, he had to be precise too, or you get penalties.
He's
right?
extremely precise. He's extremely precise in that action. But what he's doing is, in him fighting, he's still got to be trained,
So
especially in Volume 1.
So
He's
that's
not
what I'm
been
saying.
trained.
Okay, that's what I'm saying though. That's why we have a difference in. But what we have is a difference of when there's a person who we can subdue, like you choose, if you choose to kill that person, because that's where we are with Annihilation Day.
But he's
Should
not
we
always done that.
I'm not saying that he has always done that, but the argument that you made while we were writing was that we should kill this dude.
Yes, and there was a reason for that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that, like King Supreme will be at a mind state that life is valuable, and if we can keep it, if we can save it, that's why I said Ace Blade. We need an Ace Blade because it wouldn't be this hard. If Ace Blade was there,
still
he
would
would be
be
able
hard.
to. It wouldn't be because
It wouldn't change anything.
No, yes, it would.
No,
because
it wouldn't.
Why wouldn't it?
Because it's not going to make Jax change his opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm
it
saying
wouldn't
that-
make anything easier. It
No.
would just be another.
It'd just be another opinion.
I'm just saying that he would. I think that Ace Blade because wait a minute. Y'all think-
Unless we're saying off gate, Ace Blade comes in and, no, I'm Ace Blade.
No, that's
You're
not
gonna
what
do
I'm
what
saying.
I tell you to
That's
do.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying Ace Blade has the trust of the group. So when because I think y'all think that Ace Blade wouldn't kill who we're talking about, but Ace Blade would be on y'all's side though. Ace Blade would want to kill the troll, like if they had the chance. I think he would. Somebody would have to come in and stop them from killing the troll, because Ace Blade would be the decider. I think Ace Blade would be the deciding vote, and since Black Scorpion has he has a relationship with Black Scorpion. He has a relationship
Oh,
with.
you're talking about Ace Blade, yeah.
Yeah, he has a relationship with Jax and King Supreme. He would definitely be able to explain to King Supreme why the enemy needs to.
So you think if Ace Blade was there, the troll would have got killed?
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
not saying that the troll didn't get killed.
I'm just
but
saying. If he was there,
if he was there, I think because Ace Blade values human life. He's precise and all that stuff, but the troll ain't human. That's something else. Like that's some other stuff. You need to go back to where.
So we're pretty much, all right, well, we've been told that now, so we might.
We're not. I didn't tell anything.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. You're trying to tell people stuff,
I'm not.
and I'm not telling people stuff.
I'm not trying
going
to.
around.
I'm saying we might as
well, let's go back a step. So, I think another interesting thing with all the characters is what's going to define how you administer justice is your emotional and mental state. And again, we have a spectrum here. We have Ace Blade, who is very mentally and emotionally stable from
He's refined at this point.
Yeah, then you have Black Scorpion, who is not the most emotionally stable person. He's mentally stable, but not all that emotionally stable. And then you have King Supreme, who is he's still developing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And then you have
a little more malleable.
and then you have
Jax is just unstable. Period. I mean,
Jax,
he's not.
I wouldn't say he's mentally unstable,
emotionally-
but emotionally he is very volatile. He is a very volatile. That's a common
See on his
theme.
face.
That's a common
his face.
theme in your storytelling. Is
his
he
face.
is motivated by his emotion.
He don't even know why
Whether,
he mad. He don't even know why he mad.
These are the words you use. You say he hates injustice. He hates ignorance. That hate is an emotion.
Willful ignorance.
Yeah, willful ignorance. So he's definitely motivated by his emotions that he is logic, like Black Scorpion. Black Scorpion is a very logical person. Before he might be emotional about something, but he's gonna sit back and think, okay, what's the right course? What's logically gonna get this solved the fastest?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so that's also
I can agree with that.
That's gonna also be something that's gonna affect how they administer justice. Obviously, we're human, so we know that when we're in an emotional state, whatever that may be, we're going to, if it's something like anger and hate, okay, that's mostly expressed through some kind of physical exertion. That's what Jax is. He is physical exertion embodied.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
he is physicality in its reality. You know, so and then Black Scorpion, it makes sense that he would be willing to kill if it came down to that, but that's not his go-to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He has killed and he will kill. He was in the military. He,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's nothing to him. But if there is a more efficient way to do it, you know, let's say he needs to get some information out of somebody, or if he needs this person alive to get to the guy at the top, he's not gonna kill. You know, in the case with Princeton and like if that was Black Scorpion, he probably wouldn't have killed those guys. You see a similar situation like that with Black Scorpion and Boss Type Hero. He didn't kill his thugs because he needed them to get to him. You know, even though he really needed Boss so that he could find out what he knew about the scientists. So it's a method to his madness, if you will, and I think that's another factor that weighs in how the characters administer justice.
But what about the kids though?
The kids.
What about the kids? See, we got all the younger. This is another thing that I was gonna bring up is that we got in Annihilation Day we got Black Flame there, who is Black Scorpion's son. We got Jewel, Brawn, Velocity, Mystic, all these young kids who are gonna be, you know, future heroes in our universe, and they're sitting here, you know, they're not fully their own, you know, hero yet. Like they don't have their own destinies planned out or whatever. So they're sitting here looking at the heroes, and they're sitting here fussing about should we kill this dude or not? Like,
but it's not like that conversation was unfounded in this situation.
I think that the fact that the conversation is being had is important.
I think it's important
for the kids to see anyway, because they see that there is options.
Exactly.
If they just went and killed them, then okay.
We're showing them that's the way to go.
If they sat back and just off gate didn't kill them, then they're gonna also, it's gonna be the opposite where okay, if I don't know, there's a scenario where this person needs to be stopped, they may not even consider an alternative. We're showing that there are options, there's always options, and that, you know, you always should at least hear out opinions and hear out ideas.
And I mean, in Jax's vein, in his perspective, I agree with what you said. Jax is driven emotionally. It's not that he doesn't, but we also have to remember that Jax is really raw in all of this.
Yes.
He's by far the rawest in all of this because he's not
a lot to swallow.
Jax is not trained. You see what I'm saying? As Ace Blade, it will be like it's him and King Supreme will be the most raw in this because Roy is learning. He's a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jax in this space, he's a kid too. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not experienced anything like what he's now in. He's not been trained. By the time Annihilation Days come about, he has. You know what I'm saying? He's been trained at that point.
But he ain't never come up against a magical troll though.
Exactly. Which is, we know that's another conflicting point.
Beast mode monster troll.
Yeah, and that's another conflicting point for him is because now he's dealing with something that in his mind before this moment he's had some run-ins with some strange stuff, but a troll that teleports and transports and stuff like that's an irritation to him. In this situation, for what is happening though, in Jackson's perspective, he's looking at the long game here, which is if he lives, if we allow him to live, the troll has told us what his goal is, what he wants to do. The reason this whole thing is called Annihilation Day is because he wants to annihilate everything. That was his goal. You know what I'm saying? So that means if we leave this dude alive, knowing that the only thing on his mind is annihilating mankind, in Jackson's mind, he's like, how many more times are we gonna do this?
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? So if he's letting us know right now that all he wants to do is destroy us, why let him live for what?
Well, I think that's why King Supreme. I don't think he hasn't because of his power. He doesn't not come up against somebody who he's been forced to kill. He has never killed anybody. Like we said, he's a kid. So I think that he's just too. He's not gonna cross that line if he don't have to. And since he didn't have to,
and I can promise you guys that we're not giving away anything as far as whether he was killed or not killed. You still need to read it. So you still trust me. You still need to read it to see what the resolution is. We're just this conversation is more so. It spans the universe period as far as each character's mindset and how they. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much laying the groundwork for the characters and where they're coming from when they approach any situation. Annihilation Day just happens to be the first one that we've had to come together and do this. So I mean, but I need to establish that Jax is not, because y'all gonna have this dude, have people thinking this dude is like just like he literally wakes up in the morning and who can I murder today?
I didn't say that.
Like
Nobody says that.
that's not.
I'm saying that
he has never
300
gone into
well,
the streets.
What are his
6'8", 315.
315, 6'8", and he's carrying around a 6.5 foot axe.
Yes.
That's razor sharp, and that's his
razor
weapon
sharp.
of choice. Like
It's fast.
It's past right
that's what I'm saying. He's coming at people with the. He's not coming with beanbags. Like he's already a hulking.
It cuts at atomic level because that's what's past rated.
You splitting atoms, bro.
I
You
can't-
about to-
I mean, that's the thing. They have that. They have a knife that can cut.
It can't cut diamond.
Bruh, look, all I know is this big dude coming at people, not lightly. Now, he's already bigger and stronger and faster than everybody else. We get that. But now he's coming at you with the axe. So you can be prepared to lose limbs and your life every time Lumberjacks comes around. Is basically what you're saying.
No. All right, so let's deal with the specific situation where you were talking about where you cut the guy's arms off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because you're not telling anything that led up to that, right? That's
the important part. You cut this dude in half pretty much. You made this man half a man.
What happened was...
You can't even hug your wife no more, bro.
What happened was... what happened was there was a robbery. There was a robbery of a place.
I love you. I love you.
There was a robbery of an establishment. Jax was there to stop the robbery. He was standing in the alley.
Who called Jax to stop the robbery? Who asked him to do that?
Nobody.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are the like? Is that a bad thing that he was there to stop a
No,
robbery?
I'm not saying that. I was just wanting to
So
establish.
then you just want to make sure there was no
story.
point.
I'm
Okay.
just saying. You said that Jax just run up in here to stop robbery.
He didn't run up in nowhere. He was in the
He
alley
ran up
when
here
they were
because
doing
he
the
thought it was
robbery.
gangster.
No.
He ran up on him.
They were robbing the place. Jax was standing in the alley. When they got ready to drive and get in the getaway car to get away, Jax was of course trying to stop them. It's a couple that own this business. It's not right for you to take from this couple just because you want to. Jax was trying to stop them. So when they had now Jax is standing down the alley. You have enough time to make the right decision here. They chose to try to shoot him. Okay. Now they didn't know that Jax was like that. I guess I don't know. I don't know what their thought process was and what they thought was going to happen when you try to shoot, as you said so many times, a 6'8", 315-pound dude with a huge ass that had a gun of his own as well. Okay, so Jax, of course, doesn't take kindly to them shooting at him. So when he gets to them, he needs to subdue them from shooting him, right? Or is that wrong too?
No, I'm just saying. That
Okay,
you don't have to
so
cut
he got to
someone
this.
off
He got to the guy.
If you're 300,
He tried to shoot. The guy tried to shoot him. He cut his arm off, but he was at least nice enough to fire his weapon a few more times and cauterize the arm, and he cut off. He didn't want him to die. He was just like, hey, now you have one more chance to steal.
So you're 315 pounds.
You have one more chance to steal.
Muscular.
Now. That's the point.
Monster.
That's the
dude
point.
Couldn't have subdued him any other way. Because you were writing a
He
story
was making
about.
a point.
You were writing a story about obsessive. Police brutality, right?
Yes.
So you having Jax. This is what my point was. You having Jax tell police not to step over their bounds is kind of like me telling chickens not to lay eggs, bro.
Oh.
Like
my
me
bad.
telling him not to lay eggs. I mean, not like me telling. It's like
not
a
the
hen.
same.
It's like a hen telling another hen not to lay eggs.
It's not the same because police had a responsibility to do what? Protect and serve, right?
What's Jackson's responsibility then?
To protect, Jackson's protecting and serving
He ain't.
everybody because in that reality, the cops in a brutality thing, the cops are over. Well, in the context of this story, in the context of the story, that's not just overstepping. That was harassment for no reason.
I understand that.
Okay, so the only reason was because they wanted to use their authority to do things that they didn't have any business. Jax has not ever done that. He would never do that. Jax is never going to use.
I think his point is the police using excessive force versus Jax using excessive force.
But the police using excessive force is not. All excessive force cases to me aren't wrong. You see what I'm saying? It depends on the situation.
I didn't say Kate. I mean, I understand some people need that.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is Jax is 315
But
pounds.
in the context of the short that you're talking about, which will be awesome. in the context of the short that you're talking about, that wasn't the case. This wasn't a police brutality.
So then why didn't
situation.
Jax cut the police's arms off?
You'll see.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He always
if
trying to
he-
give stuff away.
No, I'm saying I'm just asking why if his mentality, the dudes were shooting at him, like they weren't trying to kill anybody else. They're shooting at Jax, right?
Yes.
So if Jax could, maneuver and get to them, he got to them without getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the guys to where he could use the axe. If he could use his axe, why he couldn't use his fist? Because I know Jax can.
Because the ass is 6'6".
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Why make it
Let's
harder?
be fair. Black Scorpion has dismembered people. Too.
but Black Scorpion
Thank you,
is
sir.
a more.
I appreciate
more
that.
Jack
I appreciate
Scorpion is
it.
more precise though. Like he's not.
Jax was
dismembering-
precise. He cut off only his arm.
Okay.
He cut off only his arm.
All right, but my point is,
And now he has one. This
Black
is the point.
Scorpion is 5'4", 5'3", 5'6", 5'5".
So
Jax
because
is
he
6'8",
he's still
and
incredibly
315
capable.
pounds. Yeah, he is.
Okay, so what's the point?
I'm just saying. In
Mike
most
Tyson's
cases,
5'9".
in most cases, Black Scorpion has paralyzed people. He's making sure they got to the hospital. He ain't out here cutting people in half.
Jax
to
ain't
prove
cut
a
nobody
point.
in half.
Okay, all right. He gonna cut somebody in half.
At some point he might.
Exactly, because he just out here all willy nilly. He like,
No, see, you
Yeah.
keep going back to that point.
He's
Trying to
like,
act like
yeet.
this dude is mindless and wants to.
no,
kill
I'm not
everybody.
saying he's mindless.
That's
I'm just
not what's
saying
going on.
he needs some self control. That's what I'm saying.
And he's learning that. I told you he's wrong.
Well, until he learns it, can he put his 6 foot axe
No.
away? That's what I'm saying.
Nah. But you know what a 6'6" axe does? It goes back to the
Cuts
beginning of this
people in
conversation.
half.
No, it goes back to the beginning of this conversation. If I come out with a 6'6" axe, you're gonna be less likely to act stupid.
People still gonna act stupid.
And when they do, what happens?
They gonna get cut in half.
Exactly.
Which is not
That's
the
not
answer.
his fault.
Which is not the
Why?
answer. Is what I'm saying.
Why is it not the answer?
Okay, it's the answer then. That's the
Okay.
answer. Cut people in half. We could just cutting people in half now.
Look, man,
We cutting people in half.
this you're trying to like make this like he's looking to cut people in half. That's not what's going on. He just happens to have an extremely effective axe that if he needs
Just
to use
happens
it,
to
he will.
have.
Yeah.
He chose that axe.
He did.
Like, so
He
he
did.
said.